Hi Subhas, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. A very good evening to you.
Same to you. How have you been today?
Yeah, my day was very good. I
Hmm.
went to office, did a lot of work, so I'm very happy.
So you're very productive today, I see.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's good to know. Have you read the topic that we have for today?
Yes, I did go through the topics.
It's a very interesting topic, don't you think? I personally really like this topic.
Yeah, it's interesting and it is very hard to give a honest answer also, I think.
I personally enjoyed a lot because I'm a philosophy student and such situations are very commonly given to us in exams. So we need to answer them. Okay, so a stranger versus yourself. Okay, so I'll
Yeah.
give you the situation again. The situation is that you are going for some important, you have some important, thing to attend, some important event to attend. It could be an exam, it could be a function, something that's really important to you. And while you're traveling to that place, you're traveling by your car, and on the road you see somebody who's begging for help. They have a medical condition, and it seems like they need to be rushed to the hospital. You look around, but there are no vehicles, and you don't have your phone or any numbers. So, what would you do? Would you try to help them or not? If you help them, sorry, forgot that. If you help them, you would miss out your important event or function.
Yes, that's why I told you that it is a very hard questions to answer in an honest way, actually.
True.
I can give you answer like this. Yeah, I will stop there. I will take the needy person to the hospital. It is my primary duty to do this, being a good citizen of our country. So I can answer like this, but I don't think. Actually, I cannot see myself what I will do at that particular situation, because if
Mhm.
my career is at stake, that the thing that I am going to appear for an exam or for an interview, that is also very important for me.
Very true.
And you see that maybe for that interview I may get a job, and it depends. I mean, my family is also depending on me. I may be the only person to help my family, so
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to look to that aspect also. I have
Very
to. So that is a very tricky situation actually. So I don't know actually what I would do at the particular time. I would definitely love, I mean, like to help them, but
Mhm.
there is a but. But what I'll try to uh, find someone else who can uh, take, and I would like them to make them
So let
help.
you pass along the responsibility if it's something that's really important. Is that
Yes,
so?
but I'm not sure whether I will skip my interview or the examination and I will help them, to be honest.
All right. There's nothing wrong with being career oriented or, determined towards your goals, right? Um, a mistake that I saw was at the particular moment. We'll say at that particular moment. Okay.
At that particular, okay.
Okay. So we use the word the when it's something is, sort of universally acknowledged.
Yes.
So the Taj Mahal. Okay. So it could be the moment when Mahatma Gandhi gave the speech for Satyagraha. Okay. So that is the moment. That is the, that the particular moment. Then you can use the. When it's something specific that a lot of people maybe know about. Okay. So the timing for the meeting. Everybody in your office maybe knows that time. Okay. But when we're talking about something in general, we'll use the word that particular moment,
Okay.
at that hour. Okay.
Okay.
Make sense? Perfect. So, okay, we are you're being very honest here, which is something that I admire.
Okay,
Honesty.
before you go ahead, I just want to ask you one thing. I just watched one of your videos a few days back, and there you used one word that is vicariously. Vicariously.
Vicariously, yes.
Yeah. And then I'm interested to learn new words, so I also uh, Google it, and already I had said the meaning, but still I Google it and find out the meaning.
Hmm.
But the pronunciation that is given in UK and in US as well, they are saying it's vicariously. So can we use it vicariously or vicariously both?
So far as of now, I've only used vicariously. Maybe there's a difference between the American pronunciation and the British pronunciation. That could be the reason. But if you're somebody who likes to go by the American pronunciation, why not? You can definitely say that.
No, but in both UK and US, in both the pronunciation is like vicariously. That's what I have found. That's why I'm
Yes.
asking.
Hmm.
I have seen other people also using this. I mean, pronouncing it vicariously. But when
Hmm.
I Google it, I found it in both UK and US vicariously. That's why I
Uh,
just.
The thing is, I've also heard people use this word quite often, and I've somehow always heard them say vicariously.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it can also be a textbook thing, you know. So sometimes when we try to explain the pronunciation of something,
Hmm.
when we are, trying to be too correct, sometimes it sounds slightly different from how we say it in, let's say, our daily usage. That could be a difference. But I will have to be honest with you. I've not never gone to Google to check the pronunciation of vicariously, so I'm not 100% sure. But this could be one reason why you're seeing that disparity. Sometimes it's there. Mhm. If you want to confirm your pronunciation even further, I go to a couple of dictionaries also. So let's say Oxford Dictionary or Stanford Dictionary, even Merriam-Webster. These dictionaries also sometimes give the option to listen to the word. And YouTube also, some YouTubers are not some YouTubers, but
Yeah,
some
yeah.
companies.
I went. I just watched one YouTuber. Uh,
Mhm.
in that case, he was pronouncing it vicariously, like you.
Ah, I'm not asking you to listen to. Sometimes YouTubers can also be wrong, just as human beings. Certain companies work specifically towards giving out pronunciation of difficult words. So if you look for that, also you'll find it on YouTube if pronunciations are confusing you. But as of now, I
But
think
I think we can use both. What you say? We can use both, no?
yes, you can
Vicariously or
use both.
vicariously.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
Some technical pronunciations can always have varieties. Like I studied theater for a long time, and in that, my teacher generally corrected almost every word how I spoke. I had to alter a lot of my words. So sometimes the technical usage sort of varies, a normal general usage. Mhm. Okay, perfect. So, yeah, so you would, try to get external help. If you leave, so let's say you're not able to find out that external help and you are not wanting to miss that examination, so if you leave, would you have a sort of guilty feeling? Would you
yeah,
regret
yeah. It
it?
will be there. It would be there. Yeah. Guilty feeling will always be there, and I always
Mhm.
feel like that. Sometimes it so happened also that I thought in hindsight that I should have gone to help them with sacrificing uh, my work that I uh, did not go for them because of my work. So it
Mhm.
happened. Uh, there was a serious incident happened that's long back. In our state, Assam, there was
Mhm.
insurgency problem. You might know that there is an and it is in the 90s, you can say. So one day, while I was going to office, so there was a two three people. There was a situation like what to say. I don't know in English what is a scuffle. In this, a scuffle.
Yeah, a fight or a scuffle, you're right.
Yeah. So I just curious about that, and I just went near to the scene, and I found that there is a guy. Uh, he was a short guy, but he was holding a small revolver-like thing. It is
Mhm.
a revolver, maybe it is a revolver, a silver
Maybe a
color.
pistol, maybe a pistol.
Up is there, yeah. So and two three guys tried to snatch that revolver from him. So
Mhm.
but he was trying hard not to give in, and I stood there for some time, and then I just left the place. The moment I left, I found some shot sound of the gun. That shot. He somehow he fired 3 4
Mm-hmm.
rounds from that pistol, and thereafter I stood there up a few far some distance. I stood there and I just tried to get an idea what was happening actually.
Mm-hmm.
Then one boy, I found that he was bleeding from his stomach, uh, blood coming out from his stomach, and he needed some help. So what I did, stopped an auto rickshaw, and I um, told the auto rickshaw to take him to a hospital. Okay, but the boy also asked me to go with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I did not go because I had to go to office, and I was also a bit scared also because this it happened. I mean, that boy who fired, he happened to be from an insurgency gang or what you say. So I might be in trouble in if I give the company, if they come to know, I might be in trouble. That's why I did not go. But the next day, when I read the newspaper, I found that that boy's picture came out in the newspaper that he was dead in the hospital. He whether his life in the hospital. He reached hospital, the
Mm-hmm.
medical college, but
Mm-hmm.
he was dead. So that incident sometimes I come back to me and I feel guilty that I did not accompany him. If I went with him, might be he could have been saved. I don't know, but still, that is a guilt. It will always be with me.
That's a it can be a very traumatizing experience. I can only imagine what you felt. That can be really shaky for anybody. I've never heard a bullet sound, but my dad was posted in a sound in 2000. He's an army officer. So,
Assam.
yeah, he was in, yeah, we were in Lekha Pani. Our unit was in Lekha Pani.
Okay, Lekhapan near Margareta.
Yeah. Yeah, Margareta. We used to go, they used to go to Margareta for, shopping because Margareta was slightly bigger. So, yeah. So I've heard a
My
lot of stories.
my native place near to that one. From Margareta, you say about 60 kilometers, maybe my native place where I was born.
Wow, that's just lovely. I have a few corrections for you.
Yeah.
So I love two words that you used, hindsight and sacrifice, and they're very amazing words, and you used them very well. So that was great. You said a lot of blood was coming out of his stomach. We don't usually add an S to blood.
Of blood, yeah, singular.
So we can say a lot of blood was gushing out of their body. Gushing is a
Gosh, yeah.
sound of a fluid flowing with a lot of speed out of a small thing. Okay, so the water was gushing out of the pipe. The
Or we
blood,
can say, can we say he was bleeding profusely?
yeah, he was profusely bleeding. Yes, that's another medical, very good term. Yes, we can definitely use that. Okay. Another thing, for the person who was from that, from the insurgency, we could have called him an insurgent. Okay?
Yes,
Anybody in
yes.
insurgency can be called an insurgent. But insurgency is another good word. We know this by the virtue of the fact because we've been around them. Not a very good way to know a word, but it's always a new word. Right? Okay. So, if you wouldn't have found out about that person through the newspaper, do you think you would have done something to check up on them later? Like, would you have wanted to know what had happened?
I may not go to that extent, but actually I read the newspaper only because of that reason. I also I just thought that this incident may come up. I mean, news will appear in the newspaper. So
Mhm.
for that only, and actually it happened that I saw that I mean the picture of that boy was lying on a bed, motionless.
Oh my God. To have that fear of finding out something through the news and actually, finding it out can be really scary.
Mm.
Okay. I will give you a few tips before we go. You have an excellent vocabulary, and it's lovely to see that you wish to improve it consistently. I love that. I want you to continue doing that. If you're looking for new words, the best way to find new words is to read.
Is
Something
to
I is to read more.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So do you like to read, Subhash? Do you read the newspaper or something like that?
I had a habit to read newspaper daily. Whenever I mean, in the morning when I go to office, the first thing I used to do read a newspaper, particularly the editorials. So there
Uh-huh.
are two articles in the editorials, and I used to read, and I read loudly, aloud.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was
Yes.
my habit. The first thing I will do, otherwise I won't start my work. So it helped me a lot in writing when I have to write something letters etc. at office. So I
Mm-hmm.
there found so many phrases and words which helped me in writing. Yeah, it helped me a lot. But when it comes to speaking, I did not have anybody to speak. And if I use those words or phrases to anybody, they would not understand. So I had no chance to use them. Now I can use it because you would understand, or the other tutor, I can use it. Now I feel very good to use all these things, what I have learned earlier. So I did it. Not nowadays I am not doing it. Nowadays I'm only watching videos, and from that
Mm-hmm.
there I am finding new words. I Google it, and after finding this word, what I do know, I take the screenshot, and so whenever I get time, I go to those screenshot and revise it.
Wow, that's a lovely practice. It's a very lovely habit that you had as a morning routine, and this is a very lovely practice. Rather than saying it helped me, we can say it has helped me a lot.
It
Okay,
has helped me a lot. Yeah,
just a
helping
has
me.
been.
It helped me not now, na? It has helped me, and already the effect is there.
It yeah. So the sentence where you were using it has felt like it was missing. It felt like you needed a has. That's why I suggested. I do suggest reading still. So I will tell you a few stories. I'll suggest a few stories. Try reading them. You might enjoy them. Mhm. I'll just write them in the chat box. So one of my favorite stories. One second, I think my phone has yeah. It's a story called The Last Leaf, and another one's called The Yellow Wallpaper. I've sent put these two stories in the chat box. They're very different stories from each other. I've given you a huge different variety so that if you like one of them, you can maybe continue to read such side type of stories. They're very short stories, so hardly 2 to 3 pages, and it won't take you really long. But I personally feel reading stories can help you with a lot of things when it comes to expression. You see, the language of a newspaper isn't what we usually use to communicate
Yes, right.
think,
Yeah.
right? But stories are actually written for us to be able to relate to them.